Hey YouTube, it's your girl Sarah Talks. Today I want to discuss the topic of overcoming grief. How do you move on with your life when you lose someone that's so dear to your heart? How do you accept the fact that you can no longer see that person or talk to that person? Well, let's discuss. When you lose someone that's so close to you, it's like a piece of you is gone. It's a void that can never be filled. So, what do you do from this point on? Do you just lay down and be miserable? Do you stop living your life? Do you just shut the whole world out? No, it's not going to do anything. The only thing you're really doing by doing that is hurting yourself. Now, don't get me wrong, it doesn't mean that you can't grieve. Grieving is a normal human process. We all been there, we've all gone through it. But it's the point of learning to live on. It's the point of learning to continue to be positive and have a good outlook on life. Let me give you a great example. I personally am going through mourning right now. I just lost my mom 4 days ago, and it's one of the hardest things that I have ever gone through. You know, when I was younger, I had already lost my dad, so that was a void that has never been filled to this day. And then now I'm being slammed with the death of my mother. So trust me, anybody that's going through grief right now, I completely understand what you're going through. How am I overcoming this? I'm taking it one day at a time, and that is the advice that I would give to anybody. Take it one day at a time. Does it mean that you have to pretend that you're not hurting? No. Does it mean that you won't have days when all you want to do is break down and cry? No. Does it mean that you just sit in denial and pretend that none of this happened? No. Grieve. That is a normal human process. You have to grieve in order to heal. And then once you heal, you'll be able to move on. And that's the process of what you have to go through when you lose someone. You know, a long time ago, I remember that someone once told me when I was going through the loss of my dad at that time that, everything happens for a reason. What else do people say? Heaven has gained another angel. Or what is the other best line that you normally hear? Well, when you lose someone, just know that it's going to be okay. Yes, all of that is true. But again, it's hard to heal inside. As I mentioned in the beginning, losing someone that is close to you, a loved one, that void will never be filled. Losing my mom felt like I lost a part of myself, which is normal for anyone that loses someone so dear, especially when it comes to your parents. But again, it does not mean that you cannot move on with your life. Take it one day at a time. The biggest mistake that you can do is keep it all inside. See, when you keep things inside, whether it's anger, hurt, pain, a situation that you're going through with somebody else, do not keep it inside, because keeping it inside is going to create anger, it's going to create hatred, it's going to create depression, and sometimes depression can lead to a multitude of stuff. And the worst of all, can even lead to suicide. And that's not something that you want to do or even get to that point. When you're going through stuff, those demons can eat at you. It eats you inside. It eats you physically, mentally, spiritually, emotionally. But you can't let that happen. Walking around, sometimes you feel like a zombie. You just don't know what to do with yourself. It's like, should I move on? Should I pretend everything's okay? When people say, oh, I wish you my sincerest condolences. It's really sweet and all. But does that person really understand the turmoil that's happening to you inside? And that's all about grief and what it is and what we're coming. Like I said, you have to learn to move on with your life. Just because you're moving on with your life doesn't mean that you're in denial. Just because you're moving on with your life doesn't mean that you never loved that person, or that person doesn't exist, or they didn't mean anything to you. It doesn't mean any of that. Everybody handles grief differently. Some people just go into their own world and just block everything out and act like everything is okay. Some people need to cry 24/7. It's okay. It doesn't make you weird. It doesn't make you weak. It doesn't make you crazy. It's normal. But at the end of the day, you have to be strong. You have to keep moving on. Best way to overcome grief, my personal opinion, and again, it's my personal opinion, is keeping yourself busy. Doesn't mean that when you're keeping yourself busy that you're ignoring what's going on. No. Let me dig a little bit deeper into that. What I mean by keeping yourself busy is focus on the positive things that make you happy, whether it's being around someone else that you love or doing something that you love. Read a book, go outside, take a walk, take a vacation, whatever makes you happy. You see, it's like when someone passes, it's kind of like, to me, it's like kind of like going through a breakup. You go through different stages of pain, hurt, and grief. But at the end of the day, even with, of course, a breakup, you will eventually heal and move on and forget about that person. But when it's a death, like I said, that's a void that can never be filled. You just have to move on. Move on with your life. Be happy. Think about it this way. The person that you lost, if that person was still alive, do you really think that person would want to sit there and watch you be that miserable? Do you really think that person want to sit there and watch you waste your life away because you can't get over the grief and pain of losing that person? No, that person wants you to live your best life. Go after your dreams. Go after your passion. When you lose someone, it should give you a self perspective. Think of the things that you want to achieve in life and where you want to go and who you want to be. It should push you to want to live life even more. Doesn't mean go and do stuff crazy and end up in jail. No. It means be a better version of yourself. Be the successful person that you want to be. All your fears that you had that was holding you back, this should be a motivation to push yourself out of that comfort zone and become the person that you need to be. Just remember, at the end of the day, that person that you lost is looking up at heaven at you and smiling because they know that you have so much more potential in life than what you see right now. Like, sometimes this door is closed, but you have a door here and you have a door here that's open. Who knows the multitude of opportunities that is there waiting for you, but you got to take that first step. Do not let that grief that you're experiencing tear you down and make you waste your life that person wouldn't want you to waste. Think about it. Overcoming grief is just another stepping stone to where you need to be. Everything happens for a reason. As painful as it is, you got to remember, everything happens for a reason, and you will overcome this. And every time you feel sad about that person that you have lost, just remember the positive, the good times, the good memories that you had with that person. And of course, that's always going to put a smile on your face, but it's going to make you sad at the same time because you really miss that person. But just know that it's going to be okay. We're all rooting for you. And just remember, you can be a better version of yourself. This is your girl, Sarah Talks, and I'm out, and thanks for listening. Oh, and by the way, don't forget to subscribe and click on the notification bell so when I have new videos that come up, you'll be the first to know. And then this is Sarah Talks. I'm out.